The price of prejudice, a federal agent's ordeal. Adrian Pierce exuded competence. His badge was legitimate, his clearance confirmed, and every step he took spoke of quiet authority. He was precisely where he was supposed to be, a federal agent arriving for a meeting at Denver's gleaming Summit Corporate Plaza on a Tuesday morning. Yet for some, his mere presence was suspicious. Dressed casually in a silver-gray shirt and dark trousers, with a messenger bag at his side, Adrian exchanged a polite nod with the security guard, Carl, who barely registered him. Adrian stood by a sleek onyx wall, engaged in a soft conversation through his earbud, the picture of a professional preparing for business. But Chloe Davies, a junior administrator at the front desk, saw something else. "He's pacing," she whispered to a co-worker, talking to himself. "Something's off." Instead of inquiring, Chloe's hunch led her to dial security, reporting a suspicious man in the lobby. No mention of his valid credentials, just that he seemed out of place. Adrian's contact at Apex Solutions was delayed, and Chloe's vague report quickly escalated to the Denver Police Department. Officers Kevin Stone and Maya Santos arrived shortly after, armed with a bare-bones description. Black male, early 40s, possibly scouting the building. Stone, leading the charge, immediately confronted Adrian. "Sir, could we have a word?" Adrian, surprised, readily agreed. Stone's next command, however, was laced with aggression. Step away from the wall, hands visible. Adrian remained calm. Identify himself. "I'm with the agency, here for a scheduled brief." Stone's skepticism was palpable. "Agency of what?" "CIA. Got ID." When Adrian moved to retrieve it from his bag, Stone barked, "Don't reach," his hand instinctively going to his holster. Adrian froze, pointing out the contradiction in Stone's demand. Officer Santos intervened, instructing Adrian to place his bag down and open it slowly. Inside, a metal badge holder held what Santos confirmed were indeed genuine credentials. Despite the verification, Stone remained unconvinced. "We'll need to confirm," he muttered. Dismissing Adrian's offer, call Agent Rachel Chun at the Dallas Regional Office. Stone then pressed, "Are you armed?" Adrian confirmed, detailing his agency-issued, authorized concealed Glock 19. By this point, Adrian was on the cold lobby floor, his every deliberate move observed by Stone, who seemed to wait for any misstep. Santos, visibly uncomfortable, suggested they radio in for further instruction, but Stone held his ground. The silence was heavy, suffocating. Then, the chime of the elevator broke the tension. Agent Rachel Chun stepped out, sharp in a navy pantsuit, her own badge prominently displayed. Her eyes widened at the sight of her top agent on the floor, two officers towering over him. "What is going on here?" she demanded, her voice cutting through the room. Adrian offered a terse, "Good morning, Rachel." Chun's gaze fixed on the officers. "Why is my top agent on the floor?" Stone offered flimsy excuse about a suspicious call. Chun pressed. "Did he resist? Threaten anyone?" Santos admitted. "No." Chun's voice turned icy. "Then why is he on the floor?" "Because he's black and wearing an earbud." Stone had no response. Adrian slowly stood. 9 minutes, he stated, the weight of the moment in his voice. "That's how long I was treated like a threat." Chun's jaw tightened. "You're cleared, Adrian." Turning to the officers, she made it clear. He's an 8-year agency veteran. Neither officer spoke. Chloe, from behind her desk, stared at the floor, a growing wave of guilt washing over her. This was not the outcome she'd envisioned for her hunch. Adrian, his composure regained, but a deep, familiar frustration simmering beneath, collected his bag and nodded to Chun. Just then, building security arrived. Daryl, the head of the team, leaned into Chun. "We reviewed surveillance footage," he said quietly, "and there's something you need to see." Chun's eyebrows rose. "What now?" Daryl explained that another man, 5 minutes before Adrian's arrival, had left a small black case under a planter. Adrian's attention immediately sharpened. "Where is it now?" Daryl hesitated, explaining they were awaiting bomb squad protocols. Noting the man had deliberately looked over his shoulder, the tension in the lobby coiled tighter. Chun, now fully in charge, issued swift commands. Secure the lobby. Evacuate non-essential personnel. Lock the elevators. To Adrian, she simply said, "You're with me." Chloe, alarmed, gasped, "Wait, what do you mean, bomb squad?" No one answered her. Adrian was already issuing commands into his earpiece. "Patch me to ops." Possible drop confirmed. Coordinates locked. Surveillance needed. Scrub audio too. Chun sharply ordered perimeter surveillance and a call to the Dallas office to activate contingency protocol. The ticking was no longer just metaphorical. Chun confronted the officers again, highlighting Adrian's impeccable record. Santos quietly accepted Chun's business card, but Stone did not. Chloe, trembling, stepped forward, attempting to explain her actions. I wasn't sure. I didn't want to take any risks." Adrian turned to her, not with anger, but profound weariness. "You want to hear the irony?" His voice was flat. "I was standing next to the building directory the entire time. You could have just asked me my name." Chloe was speechless. Chun, her tone now sharper than steel, stepped closer to the officers. "Just before I arrived," she revealed, "Agent Pierce was reviewing a transfer application. A police officer applying for a spot on the Cybercrimes Task Force. That file was on his desk this morning." Her eyes fixated on Officer Stone. Santos muttered, "You're kidding." Chun didn't flinch. Officer Kevin Stone, that was the name. Stone looked stunned. I didn't know." Chun continued, detailing Stone's strong application, including his academy scores and bravery commendation. Adrian folded his arms. "I had marked it for an interview," he said simply. "Thought you had solid instincts." Stone's face flushed with shame, replacing his confusion. The air grew thick with accountability. "You were 15 minutes away from speaking to the agency," Chun underscored. "But instead, you had a man on the floor, a weapon nearly drawn, and a federal badge ignored." No one had an answer. Chloe retreated, appearing smaller than ever. Adrian's voice remained level, devoid of anger. "This is why we talk about bias. It doesn't always show up as violence. Sometimes with a phone call or silence or a hand hovering near a holster for 9 straight minutes." Stone muttered, "I didn't realize," and that, as an Apex Solutions manager finally stepped out of the elevator. Confused about the delayed briefing, Adrian sighed and picked up his bag. Before stepping into the elevator, he paused, looking back at a frozen Stone. "I want you to remember one thing," Adrian said, his voice quiet but clear. "The only difference between you and me in that lobby today, I never doubted who I was." Stone remained silent, no longer an officer, but a man grappling with an indelible moment. Adrian turned and stepped into the elevator with Chun. Chloe clung to her phone behind the counter, her downcast eyes and silence now more potent than her initial call. As the doors closed, Adrian softly murmured to himself, 9 minutes. That's all it took to nearly destroy everything. Upstairs, the shift was immediate. Adrian moved with quiet professionalism, the pain of the encounter tucked away, replaced by a practiced calm. The briefing proceeded. An hour later, as he packed his laptop, Chun offered company on the way down. He declined. Stepping into the lobby again, he didn't expect anyone to be there, but Officer Santos stood quietly by a pillar. As he walked past, she stepped forward. "Agent Pierce." He turned. "I waited," she said, "because I needed to say this. No one told me to. You were right. I saw your ID, knew it was real, and I let it all unfold anyway. I froze. I didn't stand up when I should have. I won't forget that." Adrian studied her face, seeing genuine remorse. "You still have time to choose what kind of officer you want to be," he said. She nodded slowly. Adrian gave a respectful nod and walked away, the building's revolving doors opening before him without a single obstacle.